My name is Albert Lindsay, and I have a part of a company with my brother-in-law Ken over here where we do call it Camp Creations. It's a thing for pretty much the rest of my family. It's all an acronym. But we do we're starting to do props and designing props for theaters and everything, and we're here at the extremely nice and friendly Spotlight Theater, and where this is Luke Madden.
Yes.
And Erica Howard and Ken Koshman, and you're going to be doing a version of Wolves of Sherwood.
Yes.
Coming up.
Yes. Robin Hood Wolves of Sherwood. It is essentially a sequel series to the classic Robin Hood stories that we all know and love. We are super excited to be putting it on. I'll be directing. My wonderful girlfriend Erica will be assistant directing, so that's fun.
We will both be equally fangirling over all of the props you've already made.
Right, yes. And we've had the absolute honor to be able to work with both of you on this production and be able to really already, we haven't, today is the day of auditions, we're sitting here doing this interview. We are about to get started, and we already have a whole array of incredible creations.
Especially the fingers.
They're
They're so cool.
Yes, but so many amazing things that really have already started to bring the world to life before it's even started to be.
Before we even know who is who.
Yeah, exactly. Before we even know who's who, we already know exactly what they're going to be using and wearing. It's just already bringing such inspiration to my mind. I'm so excited. It's going to be amazing.
What made you get into theater?
Theater, yeah. So as far as what started, as far as me for theater, I've always enjoyed performance. I always wanted to be a voice actor. And I want to say, because I always wanted to, and I remember going to a Comic-Con, and I asked somebody that was there, because I live out in rural Kentucky, or I did anyway at the time. I had no prospects, this and that, but I spoke with this voiceover artist who said, I asked him, I said, look, how can I get into acting without any resources? I don't really have the ability, this and that. Well, he said, well, try community theater first, because voice acting is acting. And so I took that advice, and a year or two later, actually, because we didn't have a lot at the time. I didn't know about Spotlight, which was really not that far away, but I was working as a paramedic. I just got out of medic school, and I applied for a job, and I was going to go to college and work. And so the person, when I was filling out the paperwork, I said, well, how is, I'm excited to be able to work on this and to be able to go study, elsewhere. And the lady looked at me, she said, well, you can't do college and work here. So I quit the job on the spot. I'm like, nope, we're done. We're filling out new hire paperwork. I'm like, nope, we're done. I went outside, and I was so frustrated. I wanted to do something productive.
You mean you couldn't be a paramedic and go to college at the same time?
That was the answer from that person, yes. And so I got out to my car, and I was so mad. And I was so mad, and I'm like, what's something that I've always wanted to do that I've never done? And I Googled nearest community theater. And I called our executive director, Chad Hembry. They had this, the theater was tore up. And I said, hey, could I just come and take a tour? He's like, sure. And that was 7 years ago. 7 years ago, almost to the day. And I never looked back. And so that's been kind of my journey through that.
What was your first role?
So my first role
performance?
my first role was Dracula, the New World, and I was the Reverend Wesley. I was the kind of Van Helsing of this story, and so that show has played a big role in my life. That role is actually how we met. We about 2 years ago, I want to say, yeah.
Because Dracula was this theater's, every Halloween, Chad Hembry wrote this version of Dracula, and he had Dracula the Old World and Dracula the New World. And so Dracula existed for a literal decade. Its 10-year anniversary was just last Halloween, and we met at the 9th Dracula it was the New World both times.
Yep.
And funny enough, when you play a scary vampire and someone that's supposed to be a crazy man, that goes together really well.
We clicked. It was chemistry, so that's it's really exciting. But it's been something that we both love to do, and it's going to be something that we're definitely going to love doing over the next couple months. But it's exciting because we get to do it together. That's an awesome way to go about it. So yeah. So what got you all into prop making? I gotta know the story.
Yes.
Well, let me start with a big backstory about me. I have been a maker of some sort most of my life.
Mhm.
Okay. Not, I was raised with a single mom.
Mhm.
We didn't have a lot of money or anything, so anything that I wanted, I couldn't afford,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
So in my mind, I'm thinking, how do I make this? How do I make it? Well, of course, to show my age, 1977, here comes Star Wars on the scene, just bam. Now, I, of course, wanted all of the little action figures. Now, the action figures were not really a problem.
Mhm.
They were only a few bucks.
Right.
Well, my best friend at the time, his father worked for the state. And so he could afford some stuff. And I'd go over to his house, and he had, and this was just after Empire Strikes Back.
Okay. Gotcha.
And he had the full size at AT&T.
Yes.
Right? He had
Yes,
the
yes.
full thing.
That's
Then he
awesome.
also had the full size Millennium Falcon. And I just loved going over there to play with that thing.
Yeah.
Well, of course, Mom, can I please?
Right.
And she's looking at, it's 50 some bucks at the time, and it was like,
Which is, yeah.
I can't do that. So my little brain starts going, how do I make one of these things with what do I have around the house? And I found an old Kleenex box. Okay,
Yes.
now you remember the old Kleenex box? You'd have to pop the serrated
Right.
top out,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they came out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was size for the body.
Right.
I ended up taking cereal boxes and cutting out legs and putting little things on it, little hinges on it. And I took the toilet roll center and I popped it through one side, made the neck. I drew out and cut out the little thing for the head. I had toothpicks for the guns and.
You MacGyvered this.
I did. Now, and it was only about that tall. It was only about like that. Fragile as all get out.
Right.
But I still had so much fun playing with that thing. I played with it for years. So in my mind, if I couldn't afford something and I really wanted it, my older brother, when the Walkmans first came out, it was, oh boy, he'd have his music going, and of course I couldn't get one; it was too expensive.
Yeah.
So I decided, well, my grandfather handed me some foam and a coat hanger and a box, and so I took a little string and I cut out little circles for the foam. I winded up the coat hanger so it fit over like earphones, and tied cord to it. And I pretend
That's
right.
That's awesome.
So all my life I've been a maker. I
Yeah.
love to make things,
That's
especially when I couldn't just go out and buy it.
Right.
Well, of course, life goes on, right? And one thing that I know when you and I first met, we started talking about security work because I was in security for 24, almost 25 years, and a lot of hard stuff with security. What people may think of security, it is no joke. We are not Paul Blarts, okay? But I have some issues. I have over the last few years, I found out I have conversion disorder.
I see.
And so that with PTSD and stuff, I can't really do a regular job.
Right.
I won't get allowed with insurance, just insurance reasons, because I might faint and I fall off a ladder. So we've had history for the last several years. In fact, it was one reason why my sister and my mother was living with my brother-in-law in California. And I started getting sick. I was living out here. I was married at the time, and we lived here in Berea, and never came to this place. It was like,
I know.
I mean, we were here for years, and I kept, every time we drive by, that might be kind of neat.
Yeah.
So, you know, and we drive by, and I never did anything. Well, after her and I broke up, and that was really hard on me. I was having these attacks.
Yeah.
And so I've had to try and find something to keep my mind going. And they were away visiting his parents back in California. And I started seeing stuff on YouTube about 3D printers. And I saw what it can do, and I'm like, oh my word, if I had that when I was 12 years old.
Right, yeah.
I wouldn't have had to have made the thing out of cardboard. I would have made the thing off of my 3D printer.
So next you made a 3D printer out of toilet paper rolls.
If only if it was only that easy. No, but I ended up buying a Bamboo Lab A1.
Excellent.
And I made a couple of little holders for your eyeglasses.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, just something that I found off the internet. And they come back after being away for about a month, you know, and I said, here's a gift for you, and I made them. And Ken looks at me and he says, what do you mean you made these, right, you know? And I said, I got a 3D printer, and he goes, oh, you dog! You know? So I started doing 3D printing.
Right.
Next thing I know, he gets a 3D printer. Then my sister wants a 3D printer.
Right. It's like chips. You just can't have one.
And then my mom was like, I'm the only one without a 3D printer. So a few months back, Ken got my mom one of the little A1 minis.
There's
She
some-
can put on her desk, and
That's
she just,
wonderful.
she loves that. She
Oh.
has such a kid. Well, I was making prop replicas of other movies.
Right.
And because I've been a movie buff and a movie fan ever since I can remember. And the
But
thought,
have you built your own lightsaber?
yes, yes, I have. But see, I like stuff that's from a particular movie. And then when I started watching Adam Savage.
Right. Yes. Oh, absolutely.
And I was just like, okay, he's I don't know anybody better to watch than him when it comes to props and stuff.
Yes.
And he was talking about, he made a replica of the first Blade Runner pistol.
Yes.
Now, I started doing research on that. For the movie back in 81 or 82, they only made one.
Right.
They only made one hero version. It is actually a combination of two real guns.
Mm-hmm.
One is a target rifle, a bolt-action target rifle, and the other one is a bulldog. Bulldog hand pistol. And for years, no one knew whatever happened to the original product.
Right.
All of a sudden, it came up for auction, and everybody started going there to take pictures of it, because there's been replica people trying to replicate
Right.
it
The whole time. Yeah.
decades. And it finally came up, and all of a sudden I start seeing there's prints out there, there's thing out there for it. And I was able to get some of the prints.
Yeah.
And I made my own Blade Runner pistol. And it was, and I have to admit, it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good.
That's incredible.
And so all the stuff we were, you know, and Ken's been getting into it. We've been doing stuff. But then I was like, we got to start making some money. I mean, it's a shame that, you know, we got these printers and we're learning how to do it all and everything, and yet can't make any money just posting things on for everybody else. I guess you could, you know, once you get to a certain status, but.
You definitely came to the right place, because with some of the pictures I've been shown of the weapons that you've made, I've texted him and be like, how much do they want for that? Because I know like 5 people that would want that in their home.
Well, I'll sell them. I can make more. But the thing was, you know, when we were just doing it, you know, we were trying to think of a way to, you know, well, let's maybe do a little 3D printing business.
Right.
And my sister has always been crafts, and she makes jewelry and she had all this stuff. So we were talking, well, let's put together this Camp Creations, and we'll do a little company together, and we can sell some 3D printed stuff. Well, then of course it floods the market.
Right.
Everything's 3D printed, and then every place we went to, we were like, we want to sell some crafts, and they're like, it's not 3D printed stuff, is it? And we were like, well, yeah, and they're like, we're so
Maybe.
oversaturated with Flexi Dragons. It's amazing, right? So I've been doing the props,
Right.
and learning how to make props, and so Ken ended up saying, here you guys were putting on Arsenic and Wings,
Yep.
and that's an old favorite movie of ours.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean with Cary Grant, way back
Absolutely.
in the day. And so we all came here and we saw Arsenic and Wings. Then I thought, I wonder if they need props.
Always.
Because my idea was, unfortunately, a lot of the community theaters, they don't have a lot of the money behind them
Right.
Yes.
to have this fancy
Yeah.
stuff, and it's, so we saw a couple of performances here, and it was like, okay, it was great. We loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were toys.
Right.
Some things were toys.
We do what we do with what we have.
Yeah,
exactly.
We make do. But
There might have been a water gun in Dracula one time, who knows?
But, so I came here and I met with Chad. I had gotten his number, and I just said, hey, can I meet you at the theater? He said, yeah, go ahead. And I think both, you were there with me when I first did it too, right? We came in and we were kind of giving him a pitch.
Right. Yeah.
Because what my idea is that for a community theater, you don't have a lot, but
Right.
but it's still going to take some money to make a
To
prop.
do, yeah.
It's still going to take some money. So if I can get it to where instead of you guys worrying about making it, I'll make it and I'll rent it to you.
Yeah.
Which is
You know.
amazing.
And so the idea is, hopefully we'll get some other theaters and whatever.
Yeah.
But Chad has been just awesome to
Yeah.
deal with. And then next thing I know, he says, everybody's going to be here on this Saturday or whatever. He says,
Right,
"Might as well-
yeah.
if you want to show up, there'll be a few of the directors here, and I'll introduce you to the directors." So we showed up here. Next thing you know, he's introducing you to us.
Yes.
And he's like, he's doing Robin Hood.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh man. And then of course,
Right.
once you and I started talking,
Right, a whole-
especially about Star Wars,
Yeah.
and
Like a 2-hour nerd out.
we just kind of hit it off.
I feel like they're the atoms more than Jesus.
Yeah. Well, he was so
yeah,
excited. Yeah.
So I started getting these ideas, and,
Yeah.
I'm pushing my limit to what I can do, and
Right.
I want to see what I can do.
Yeah.
I want it to be as realistic as possible, yet safe.
Right.
We've had a lot of discussions about this cannot actually work. I mean.
Right.
Decorative use
Well,
only.
go ahead, tell them about the longbow.
Well,
Mm.
I wanted to see, because I know most, back in that time, they used longbow.
Right.
So I, researched it, and I went and bought a piece of hickory, and I made me a longbow.
Right. Yeah.
And I think it turned out real good, and I didn't have the right string, but I did order it now, and I have it at home.
Yeah.
But I says, we can't actually shoot it. We don't want nobody to shoot it.
Right.
Because somebody's gonna get,
Right.
put
somebody's
their
good.
eye out.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But it is going to be the longbow that
Right, yeah.
that Robin.
And it does, it,
Oh, we tried.
oh yeah.
we tried it.
I pointed wood, and it works.
It went across the shop
And I've got
fairly efficiently.
two smaller bows that I'm making
Incredible.
right now, and so, it's just, I'm having fun,
Yeah.
because, my plan was not, I wasn't doing props, that wasn't my goal,
Right.
but health reasons forced me out of, I was in
Yeah.
construction,
I gotcha.
so I've always been doing woodworking and stuff.
Right.
And so when John was doing the murder on the 518,
Yep.
Yep.
which you were in.
I was in.
That's right.
Yeah.
That you were
And so-
essentially playing house.
Right, yeah.
And he wanted 4 tables that, you know, for the train.
Incredible.
So I made those
Yeah.
tables and.
They worked wonders.
Yeah. and
Sat
so-
on them every night.
And, you know, and then I just, you know, everything else, and right now, we're not only doing yours, but I'm doing for the Suzical,
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Yes,
for the
yes.
girl, I forget her name.
I'll show you a picture of it.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
did the piano.
Incredible.
It's a baby grand.
It's one of the little
That's
pianos,
wonderful.
you know, and because when we met with Jaslyn,
Jaslyn.
you know, she
Yes.
sent us
Such
pictures. You know,
sweet.
she'd like to have this stuff. So I just sent him the pictures. I said, you do it. I'm trying to concentrate on some of the stuff from Robin Hood. So I was like, handle some
What
of the Suzical.
complete opposite ends of the spectrum.
Well, the thing was, he starts sending me. He sends me a picture of this piano, and I'm like, it's perfect.
Right.
It's just perfect. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's about that
Yeah.
wide, you know, and he baked a little stool and everything for it. It's got it all painted and everything. And I was like, okay, well, hey, I don't have to worry about that one.
Right.
You know, hey, it's great. I sent Jaslyn a picture of it. She loves it.
Amazing.
So he started working on the. Chad let us come here and grab a bunch of material to use to make things, and he was working on the judge stand. He did the TV, and
Nice.
I think now you said something about you're working on the
I
helicopter.
was trying, yeah,
Oh, wow.
I've got it drawn out, I haven't, you know, cut it out or nothing, but.
That's amazing. Before we continue, I do want to check our time.
It is 7:22. I may have to go help with the
Yeah.
paperwork for the people that are coming into audition.
Okay.
So I may have to step out, but I've loved this.
Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah, we won't be. We won't be
Yeah.
too
We
long.
can always.
We can always pick it up.
I'll corral
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
We can always pick it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just started doing it.
Absolutely.
And I look at it like I want it to be as authentic as possible.
Right.
I want it to work. I want the audience to look at this and go, I haven't seen anything this quality here at Spotlight
Exactly.
before.
Exactly.
So-
The plans are, all in all, we're gonna give our audiences something that they've never seen before. And that's really exciting. And I am so happy.
Severed fingers.
Like, like severed fingers, like other spoilers that I won't give away. But, you know, fingers fly, it gets nuts, but it's gonna be an exciting, adventure-packed, dark play that we're excited to shock and thrill audiences with. And I am so excited that we're all working together on this. It's been
Well,
a
that's
dream come true, and I'm excited because it's when nerds come together, great things happen. And so it's exciting to be able to nerd out with you guys. We absolutely need to do this again and get more of these so we can talk just about the process, about how things are going. Because right now, for people watching, we are on the literal cusp of auditions.
Yes.
So nobody.
pretty much what it's going to be is I'll pause the cameras, we'll
Yeah.
move them over there, and then we'll kind of get some footage of kind of what's
Exciting,
going on.
exciting. We're
All right,
so
well,
excited to show
Very
it.
nice
so-
talking with you,
Yeah.
Luke. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much. Eric and I are so excited to be able to work with you both.
All right.
So let's make some magic.
Good.
Yep.